And what is up, everybody? I am Endesasha, and welcome back to another episode of Space Engineers. And I just exited out of the camera. Why did I do that? I was about to, use this little drone thing that I built last episode to view what I'm working on right now. It was gonna be all cool and whatnot. Can do it. Anyway. Okay. So, I'm building as... Yeesh. I'm just running into everything today. Okay, so I've started work on the large transport for these little drone ships. As you can see, they can kind of go in these little 3-block areas with ease, and then they can fly back out quite fast. And as you can see, if I get back in my camera, if we go to the center, right here, we have some modular thrusters indented into the armor, which is quite a nice feature to deflect from missiles and protect the thrusters. Then we've got the start of curving up, and then if we kind of fly over here before we switch to the camera, so that way we don't run out of fuel immediately, because apparently I still don't have enough fuel after that second reactor. We don't have the same thing over here, which is planned. I'm going to be doing something else. Then here we have my character, who's been so who's been so persistently building for the past little while, with his nice little reflection of whatever. Where'd he go? I lost him. Oh, there he is. He's got that little glint on the top of his helmet that looks like a Minecraft pixel thing. Anyway. So, if we just fly into the ship without blowing up. Did we blow up? No, we didn't blow up, but we are running out of power somehow, which is just great. Overloading. Yep, there we go. That was it. I knew it. Called it. So we have this thing over here, which was my attempt to try to rotate them to make it easier. I'm just going to use my character now because he's overpowering. No. Overloading. Yeah. So we got the inside here. Each of the insides of the hangars will probably hold about, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 drones each. So these 4 hangar exits will be 20 drones. 20 of these drones to be exact, and then we'll have 1 or 2 bigger hangars for bigger ships. Plus maybe like a building zone or something. But that's why I built these ships, so that they could zoom out of these little things and swarm the enemy and attack. And I'm using drones because they are easily disposable, and if I send out a guy and the guy blows up his drone ship, then he can just take another drone ship. I mean, if he's a good pilot, there will already be another exact same drone built by the time that he's blown up his. Which is why they will hold very, very limited ammo. And they're pretty much dispensable, looking at them. So yeah, I will continue building and come back when I have a bit more than a bunch of hangar exits and some nice, I don't know, some nice shapes. Guys, we are back, and as you can see, I have continued building quite a bit from where we last left off. We left off something like this, and now I've got nearly an entire ship. Although, as you can see, there's kind of a big hole through it. So you see, remember when I started building how I used this line of symmetry? Well, as soon as I had built this entire side, I then realized that, and as you can see from my frantic pastings all over the place, I then had to build this entire other side based on this side, because of how I originally started building it. Which turned out to be a problem, because it's extremely tedious to go copy this entire half to this half. But as you can see, it is sort of coming together, and it is nearly finished. So I believe the next portion I will show you is a tour of the actual insides of a ship. Of course, that's only after I actually finish it, which is why this video will be going up late. I apologize for that, but I guess I tried taking on too big of a project with too little time. Oh, that's a ship I just ran into. Oh, yeah, I don't know. But it will eventually get finished, sooner than later. You can count on that, at least. Still have a bit of a cough, though, so... Oh, I guess this is just sort of a little check-in. Next portion of this, it should be finished, and I don't know, this video might be going up. Yeah, no, this video will be on time. Except there won't be any videos this week. Well, except for Minecraft. So in other words, there wouldn't have been any videos last week when this video was supposed to go up because I was building the ship. Which is kind of funny because for once I actually started building this ship after the previous episode actually went up, and I actually started building it fairly soon after. It just gives you an idea of the scale and the size of which I'm building at right now. Whew. A lot of work. I'd have been trying to put detail in everywhere, like this little thingy. I don't even know what purpose this serves, but it's here, like in this little hole leading inside the ship. Except it doesn't lead inside the ship. It's a trap, I guess. So yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So this video will technically be going up seemingly on time, except it'll be a week late in my standards. Which is not a good habit to get into. I will have to... Because, yeah. I will definitely have a ship up the next week, because once this one's finished, I'll be working for basically a week and a half on the next ship, so that should be cool. So make sure to tune into for that next week, when you guys are actually watching this video. This is confusing me. Anyway, I'm gonna finish building the ship. It won't look like this on top. I plan to put in like a little tower-like thing popping out right here for the cockpit. But other than that, it's mostly finalized. I just need to replicate the blast door blocks that are kind of guarding the engines, I guess, and just kind of sitting there, looking kind of cool. And then I have missile bays to finish, and place doors on, and then I think I gotta decorate the interior of this side of a ship. I haven't done much on that, I don't believe. But yep, that's what's on my plate, to working towards the finishing of this ship. But as you can see, I've nearly got it all built, so that it's symmetrical for the most part. Although it's still asymmetrical because of the pods that are actually that will be holding the drones. Just because of how they were built on the other side and how they're built on this side, they're a bit different, but whatever, what you gonna do. It still will look cool and it will still function. So, yep, that's kinda it for this segment. I'll see you when I'm done building the ship. Okay, we have finally finished this ship. Took me a long time for this one, but as you can see, it is finished, and it is kind of dark looking, and it's kind of blends in nice with the dark background. Very lightly armored in the front, bit heavier armored in the back, but still not too much. All of this is fully piped up. We have up and down thrusters. We've got the large array of forward thrusters. We've got a few vertical thrusters, and then the only side-to-side thrusters we have are these tiny little ones right here, but they do their job. So then flying around to the front, we've got got the frontwards facing engines for reverse and stopping. It is quite a fast stopping ship, if I do add. I did test it on that planet over there and it worked just fine, so that's nice. As you can see, there are the blast door segments in between these, what are they called? In between I'm blanking, modular thrusters. There are several entrances into this ship, one right here, one right there, between those two little gaps, and of course it is symmetrical, so that entrance is on the other side too. Then we've got our nifty little drone bays here. Each holds 3 drones, 4 on each side of a ship, for a combination of 12 in total. We've got partially working missile bays right here. Partially working because they don't totally work yet, and I don't actually have missiles that fit in them. Down here are the 2 lower entrances, again mirrored on the other side, with outer doors. So let's start from one of the top entrances because they look probably the coolest. As you can see, we've got like a runway track system of lights and 2 interior turrets. Alright, so if we just kind of go in this, we can go either way. It's basically symmetrical. We can go down, and then we reach doors. These doors act as an airlock, except so do the stairs, since air can't technically travel through these blocks, but I can. So as soon as we get right down here, bam! Oxygen. Just like that. And then going forward first, this is of course all symmetrical, so it's... I only have to show half a ship, technically. Going through here, got another air vent. And as you can see, I've censored up all of these doors, so that they open just by me passing them. Makes it nice and easy to get around the ship. This is sort of a front little room, doesn't honestly have much use at all, but you can see into this drone bay right here, which is kind of a cool sight. And then, yeah, totally oxygenated and everything by this air vent. Now if we just go back out, you can see I've used the S interior walls to sort of decorate the ship. Make it look sort of nice. Just like the interior of a Death Star or something. That's what they kind of remind me of. This one's a nice long hallway. Of course it's oxygenated, except because of how Space Engineer's blocks work, it doesn't totally fit to the block in some areas. This door right here does not have a sensor on it because it leads down into an airlocked area that can open up to space, although because of how these blocks work, I technically could censor it up, but I didn't want to. So as you can see, we're right down here in this little area, sort of an intermediate airlock, kind of empty. And then we have a small hangar that faces towards the back of the ship. Two of these hangars on this ship. So nice and easy to carry any small ships that you wanted, and then this leads back out to the outside, as you saw. And if we head back up the staircase, at 7 meters per second sprinting, we can go back through the door and work our way to the main cockpit, which is nearly right through this door. Although it's not right through this door because there's that weird oxygenating thing, because you see right here it didn't have oxygen because strange reasons. But we have to use a jetpack to quickly fly through there, and then it messes up the sensor, and then we gotta trigger the sensor, and there we go. So this door leads out to that little runway style entrance that you saw when I was touring the exterior of the ship. Go up this way, we are greeted by 2 little flashing lights and a red block with a light on it. But of course no oxygen because of how the armor ramps work. It's kind of annoying. But if we go into this room, this is the cockpit, and as you can tell, it has its own oxygen system completely independent from the rest of the ship, so that way the cockpit can still stay oxygenated, yeah. If the entire ship is not oxygenated anymore. We have a total of 6 jump drives on this ship. A fairly decent amount of weaponry on the top. No weaponry on the bottom though, because I couldn't fit any. So we have a lot of interior lights. As you can see, 6 jump drives, 15 large cargo containers, and then we have some large reactors, oxygen generators, oxygen tanks, airtight doors, timer blocks, a warhead, arc reactors, stuff like that. Cockpit's pretty simple, enough space for 7. Ideally, these would be manned by the drone pilots, which you saw launch off in the preview. That was sort of a rough idea of how they would work, because there wasn't exactly anybody piloting them, and they kind of can't get out of those little hangars just by going straight forward, so it's a tad bit difficult to show it off all at once. As you can see, there's a ladder going down this way, but of course the ladder doesn't work in Space Engineers. So, that's that. If we open this door, we can enter in the very, very common crew quarters. Because it's common, because it's got a hole in the middle of it, and there's kinda no walls separating the beds. But hey, you're all a crew. Live with it. And then, moving on to the final portion of this ship, we have the armory, which is kind of opened for some reason. Give me a minute. If I go to the close. Now let's wait for it to close very patiently, because we are very patient people. Why is there no oxygen in this room? Why? I don't know. Anyway, let's disable our HUD. Yeah, turn off the lights. I just realized my lights were on, but this ship is fully lit up. I have made sure of that in every area. So now, if we very cinematically enter the armory. This armory has been designed to be, if your ship is boarded, the last resort area, where you can go just in case everything is, like, going south. And then, as you can see, bunch of heavily armored shutters to guard your precious cargoes. And I've kinda screwed this up, but that's fine. See, I forgot that I set up a timer, so I need to make sure that all of these are closed. See, because then there's the secondary layer of shutters that opens slightly after the other shutters, and it's all on a timer. As you can see, shutters go up, revealing these little nasty turrets, just in case you were invading, they would start shooting at you. And then, as you can see, the double layered on the side, and then the single layered on the front, reveals these 2 small cargo containers, which are disconnected from the entire grid, and basically will allow you to store your weapons pretty safely. And then, this room is kinda has an interesting dual funneling system for these Gatling guns, which makes it very easily defendable. And then, just in case you totally get overrun and there's no hope anymore, you can just press this button. And you will have approximately a few seconds to escape, which you're probably not. But you don't press this button if you can escape. You press this button if you want to blow up. And as you can see, the warhead that I had hidden in the ship just blew up. We can practically fly right down through the ship now, turn on the lights, and we can see just how much damage this thing has caused. So it doesn't really look like much damage, honestly. But it is a lot. It's taken out probably about 3 jump drives, mangled a bunch of armor, took out the armory storage, and it's depressurized a huge area of the ship. It doesn't render the ship completely useless, but it definitely renders it closer to useless. So, that's this ship, everybody. hope you enjoyed the little tour. If you would like to download it, there will be a link to the Steam Workshop download in the description. You just simply click subscribe. It's a blueprint. There will be a list. There's a list of mods there, and download the mods, and you're good to go to play with it in your Space Engineers world. And hit a wall. There we go. So, yep, if you enjoyed, remember to like and subscribe for more content, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye!